Hey, how are you? Welcome back. This is Dr. Carla Michelle on the Strong Network podcast. I'm happy to have you here again as we go into segment 2 of the benefits of treating your life like a business. So this is part of that, making us aware of what can we do in our lives to have it well managed. And I am comparing business with your personal life. So your professional life with your personal life, or a way a business is ran. And is it profitable for you to run, oversee, view your life as a business? Because I think I believe there are benefits in living in a way that represents a well-managed, as well as it can be managed, life. There are things that come at us that we cannot control, but was one of the things we can take from business is the planning meetings, is the vision, mission, values, and goals, as we talked about in segment 1. And if you haven't gotten a hold of that one, please avail yourself. But what we want to know now, the benefits, that can happen when you are there when you're ready to run or oversee or invest in your personal life as you would do your business or the organization that you work for. And you may like some of the things they do. You can always utilize those things in your life. What do you like? If I think back of being employed, it was something about those meetings that were held. Sometimes it was too many meetings, but it was the meetings that were held and to keep us on track. How many meetings are you having with yourself to keep you on track? How many times are you sitting down and gathering your thoughts and talking to the stakeholders and those that have some input in what you're doing and where you're going, being open to feedback? And I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but just imagine if that's how your life had some kind of similarity. Now, for those overachievers out there, I am not talking about you're running your ship so tight that you cannot enjoy life. This becomes another stressor. I am talking about implementing business ideals that may benefit you. Okay. It's not for you to run off and then have a team meeting with your partner and your kids and you're breaking it down like how we're about to do this. And we're going to meet every week or every night, and we're going to, lesson learn lunches. And I'm not asking for that. I'm just looking to spark thought of how to have a well-managed life and the possibilities that may come with that. So first, we're going to talk about strategic decision making. Strategic decision making. And I have to find my notes. Okay, this is live and I'm not going to edit. So what did I do with them? My back. Well, you know what? I found them. Okay. All right. So no edit. We're live. This is what we're doing. Well, we're not live, but we're not editing. So one, a strategic decision making is important. And what I want you to do here, if you are or you're not a CEO in your own business, an entrepreneur or solopreneur, however you want to view yourself, you're the head of this. You're running the ship. So if you're thinking like the CEO, there is some long-term forward thinking that needs to happen. You can't have your business, or you shouldn't have your business without having some kind of goals in mind, without having the vision of where you see this business going. And like I said in the first part, it is important to know where you want to go. How do you want to feel? What do you want your life to look like? So there's that long-term vision. In that part one, we talked about 5, 10, 20 years. We even mentioned doing it, week by week or something for the day. What is your vision for the day? But there's power in looking at your life in such a way that you are at the forefront of decision making. You're at the forefront of what aligns with your vision. So you do have to have that time as the CEO and be able to carry it, be able to know it, be able to feel it, be able to look for it and understand when it's starting to align. So having that long-term vision. And another thing about a CEO, we're not moved, because we're all CEOs here, we're not moved by what doesn't happen tomorrow, like the long-term vision not happening the next hour. We understand that the long-term vision is a long-term vision. And so what are those steps that help you get to that daily, weekly, monthly, or and how fast that you need to move through it is how quick you need it to happen, what deadlines you're dealing with. But this still consists of a long-term vision. And what is that for you? Do you look past the moment? Are you stuck in the problem where you can't even see the future? Well, one thing about a CEO, supposed to not get stuck in the moment, but have the bigger vision to where you can carry the team forward. So where is the bigger vision so you can carry yourself forward when you come upon the obstacles, when you come upon the challenges? And that's another thing. Practice problem solving. Practice problem solving. We can get problems and then get paralyzed, but we can have problems and we can practice problem solving. And that is the key. We all have been in places, and maybe we're still there, where life can come at us and we freeze. Mentally, emotionally, we freeze because we're just stuck in the whirlwind of the problem. But to practice problem solving is key. And it's another thing, when the whirlwind, when it hits, when the problem is hitting, don't ignore it. Don't put it off. Be that CEO of your life and face it head on and get in there and see what you need to do to solve that. What do you need to do to curtail it? What do you need to do? How much can you do right now to soften the blow? How do you stop the bleeding? Or is it hasn't started bleeding yet, but there's a little crack? How do you seal the crack? If you think of it that way, because there are times that things can come our way, problems, obstacles, opportunities, challenges, growth spurts, whatever you like to use, but we miss the moment of solving it at that smaller pebble of a problem, and we let it grow because we don't want to face it, because we froze, because we don't want to feel the pain, or we're embarrassed, or I can't believe this happened to me. Well, it did happen, and it is happening, and it can get bigger. So why do we freeze and wait and think it's going to disappear? So as a CEO, you have to practice your problem solving. As the CEO of your life, you have to look at your life and know, as much as we would like it to be great all the time, there's many times that it's not. And it can be, how is your attitude going to be when something comes? Have you ever had that CEO that blows their top every time something goes wrong, and then the employees, the team, the senior directors, the senior team is like, who's going to go in and tell this person this? No one wants to deal with it. No one wants to go in because they know the boss does not handle problems very well. So you're not that person. You are able to handle anything and everything that comes your way. You are able to face and walk through any fire, any storm, anything that comes because you have all that you need in you. I believe in God, so I'm a praying girl, and I believe that He's equipped me, and what I can't do, He does, and He does it well. And I wish He could do all of it, but I know there's some accountability. Faith without works is dead. So there's work that I have to do, but I cannot panic. You cannot panic. You cannot freeze. You have to unfreeze, and you have to believe in something that this is going to benefit you in some kind of way. This is going to benefit you if you treat your life in such a way that you almost have to turn off the emotions for the moment, because that emotional CEO that doesn't like the bad news, nobody wants to tell them the bad news, that emotion is what's stalling the plan to move forward. So emotions are great, but if they are interfering with your vision, mission, value, your values, and your goals, we got to turn those off. So practice your problem solving. Think about your long-term vision and resources. Time is money. No, time, money, energy. Time, money, energy. Those are your resources. Those are everybody has been given time. Everybody has been given time. Everybody has the same 24 hours a day as a resource. Money. There's some kind of money coming through our hands. And what we do with it, sometimes it does matter how much, but there's some kind of money coming through our hands. So that's a resource. What are we doing with it instead of allowing it to align with our vision, our mission, our values, and our goals? And then the energy. What are you doing with the energy you have? So what are you doing with the energy you have? And are you creating an atmosphere of energy? We can, I was going to say subdue, but we can depress the energy that we need by, lack of movement, overconsumption of something, out of control, where we're addicted to something. Well, that suppresses our energy. It could be TV, it could be drugs, it could be the opposite sex, same sex, it could be something that we're addicted to that eats up our energy. You know what eats up our energy? Doubt, fear, lack of self-confidence, negative mindset. That eats up our energy. So we all have resources of time, some kind of money, because there are people, I think about this, and because in my head, I'm hearing people say, you don't know my situation, I don't have any money. Okay. But there's so many ways, or are there? I'm going to put it this way, because which ways can you experience money coming to you? And then whatever that amount is, what can you envision as a CEO and the architect of your life doing with that money that can make a difference? And that's when you're sitting down with a pen and a paper, or that's when you're sitting down with friends. That's when you're asking, hey, what can I do? I've got this amount of money. I got $20. What can I do with this? What do you see me doing with this? I mean, take the chance of inviting other people, your team members, and we'll get more into that in the other segments. But how do you use what you have to get to where you see yourself going, to get yourself to have what you feel, to experience that vision that you have for your life? So resources, time, money, and energy. And how can you use them towards your growth? How can you use them towards your success? I'm currently recording here on a getaway vacation, but I wanted to do some work because I had some time without, and I'm thankful for having a full calendar, but the calendar is cleared so I can be here in Paris. And that time and energy, I could just be outside eating more croissants or shopping or walking or, something, which is great. But then when the energy is there to do something that's towards my vision, that's towards my values, that's towards my goals, that's towards my purpose, then that's what I want to use. I will feel better falling asleep this evening because I know I've completed some things. And I heard this today, I don't know, scrolling maybe, but they said that some people, I think it was some women over 50, and they think that it's menopause. But they pointed out, and I read it really quick, that it's not necessarily about menopause all the time. It's about you not have done what you know you should do. And that's why your sleep is interrupted. I shared this before. I would have dreams about sitting in a classroom, attending classes. I would have it. I get a degree thinking I'm done. And then for a while, I think after my bachelor's, I felt done because I went to school as an adult with grown kids. So, in working full time, at one time I was unemployed, getting unemployment. And I went back and got my bachelor's at that time. And then after that, I got a job full time and they helped with school. And I would have a dream about after my bachelor's, I felt like I'm done. That's good. I needed to bring closure because I had started, in my, out of high school and I didn't finish. So I was very proud of myself. But my uncle's like, yeah, you should go back and, get a master's. I'm like, so like I was going to go to USC, get my MBA. I was all in the process. Then a dear friend said, hey, you do this. What? You that person. You already do this. At the time, I think before I was already counseling and doing things like that with people and couples. And so she says, why don't you get your, MFT? And I signed up, got in, got my MFT, my master's in marriage and family therapy. And then after that, I had the dream again. And so that's when I went ahead and finished up with my PhD in business psychology. But the point is, it is about going that route with time, money, and energy that leads you to where you see yourself, where part of your vision. Do you have to have a PhD or a master's or a bachelor's? No, that was my purpose. That was my vision. That was my mission. That's where my values aligned of what I wanted for my life. Not everybody has to do it, but I was willing to invest that education towards my success because it added in my head, it added to me. So what is adding to you? What do you need to do that will add to you today? What dream are you sleeping on that's keeping you awake? What purpose are you forgetting? Because you have to make sure that you are not allowing the not being prepared, not thinking it out, not being the architect, the CEO of your life. You can't allow that to be the problem, to be a part of your paralysis, because you want more from your life and you think you're going to get it by someone else doing it for you. That's not always the case. Someone just can't. And I wish I had a magic wand sometimes. Sometimes it feels I do. No, I'm being funny, but when you're able to coach people who are ready, it almost makes you feel like you got a magic wand, but you can't coach anyone past where they see themselves. So it is important, though, back to the CEO of your life, that you see yourself beyond today, that you see yourself beyond that mistake, that mishap, that bad decision, that you see yourself beyond what a teacher told you and that you would never be good at something, or what a parent told you, or a lack of parent, not having any parents and having to do things on your own and not having that security that you needed, even with parents, or being told things about your body, about your thought process, about your mind, the way you look. That is all set up to prevent you from moving forward. So as the CEO and the benefits of treating life like a business, it is important to make strategic decisions. It's important to manage your resources in a way that works for you. And also, I mentioned this a couple of times, prioritizing your tasks are very important. Prioritizing your task. What is important? What in your task of the day, personal life now, because you got your tasks for professional, personal life. What is it that makes you feel complete at the end of the day? Not just you're working all day and I finished that project, I'm going to go home and pass out. What about you? You just helped a company kill it, right? You just helped a company get something that they needed. You just helped them land a new deal, or you just got that part of a project done. What did you do for you? So what is your time? What your money, your resources? What can it help? How can it help you get to the optimal lifestyle that you're looking for? And lifestyle is not just what we see on the social media. It's your lifestyle. What is your lifestyle? What is your optimal lifestyle? And working towards that and not forgetting that we're not in harmony. We're only really focused on our professional life, but not the benefits of treating our lives like we do the business that we work for. Your calendar, if you have one, could be filled with all the stuff you're doing for somebody else. When are you going to start blocking time for something that benefits you? When are you going to stop saying yes to everything and begin saying more yeses to yourself? That is confidence. That is focus. That is managing resources. That is delegating. When we talk about managing resources, that's delegating things that you just keep taking on, even in your household. Why do you keep taking on more? And yet you're dissatisfied. You have to speak up. I think it is so important. I'd have to say a lot of times in relationships, I hadn't spoken up as much because you can think, oh, it doesn't really matter because they're not going to listen anyway. But that's not a good enough excuse anymore. As the CEO of your life, if you're running your life and managing well your life, it is about speaking up. It is about your voice being heard. It's all in delivery. I'm not saying you walk in there and you're beating the table or you're screaming at the top of your lungs, but there is a presence that a CEO has. The CEO is the chief executive officer, chief, running the show, running your show. And if there's something you need to help your show run smoother, then you need to speak up. So let's talk about risk management. How are you handling the risk? How are you handling? We talked about here the practicing the problem solving. So setbacks happen. Resilience is important. One of the things about strong is strategy, talent, resilience, optimism, necessary, knowing you're necessary so you can go global. Resilience, that bounce back. When you are the CEO of your life, when you are managing your life like a business, you need resilience because life doesn't always fall in place as we think. Health things come up. Financial things come up, family things come up, things that you don't anticipate, right? But the point is, can we learn from these things? Even bad decisions you make, they can come and mess up some progress. But what is it? Risk management is important. Standard operating procedures, the SOPs, right? So we can have that. This is how I operate in my life. But we also need to know when this happens, this is what I can do. These are 3 things that I can look into. When this happened, this is 2 things that I can look into. Man, if we did that, if we actually had our own playbook for our lives. Speaking of playbooks, I did write a book, The Strong Woman's Playbook. You can get it on Amazon. But that was my playbook of how I made it through. And that's where strong came from, was having a strategy, knowing my talent, reminding myself of my talent, utilizing my talent, and also empowering my talent, developing my talent. But that resilience, that's resilience is still today. And you think, oh, I made it through and I've done this and this has happened. But you even learn more resiliency. You learn more bounce back. It does over time. It has moments of greatness. I'm not taking that away, but it also has moments where you still have to be resilient. All right. So learning from your failures instead of being paralyzed from that. And then the next one, profit and loss in life. If you get a P&L, if you have your own business, you get to see where you've made money and where you've lost money, where you invested and where you invested in not as profitable, however you want to swallow it. But it's important that you look at what profits you in your life, the relationships, your personal fulfillment, your mental and emotional well-being. How are you profiting? Nowadays, and it still, some people do not believe in therapy or coaching, but nowadays it is so acceptable, especially for men. Women kind of do it. Either we do it with our friends or we'll do it with, a professional. But even men are seeking therapy. Even men are seeking personal coaching, right? And one of the benefits I love being able to, have that business side and the psychotherapy side is that mixture that I can bring into an office. Like, we're not going to just talk about your vision, mission, and goals. We're not just going to talk about your performance. We're not going to just talk about promoting and things that come with that. But we're also going to talk about the harmony of your mind, your mental, physical, financial, social, relational part of your life as well. So that is the part that we are socialized so much to worry about our careers or to be so concerned about what are you going to do when you grow up. But we never ask, what kind of personal life do you want when you grow up? What kind of personal life would you want? Because we sure ask that, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it never really includes, I want to be mentally sound. I want to be emotionally stable. I want to feel good. I want, you know, but imagine if you have that listed of what you want to, I'm going to repeat myself, look like, feel like, and not just what you want to be when you grow up, but how you want to be when you grow up. All right. If you have questions, if you're stumped on something and you need more information, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at hello@drcarlainc.com. That's hello@drcarlainc. And I'll put that in the show notes as well. But remember, strategy, resource management, risk management, profit and loss in your life. Taking the business lingo and moving it over into our personal lives, because we are so quick to help a company, organization, our own businesses flourish while our lives suffer. So I am imploring you to consider the benefits of treating your life like a business and to see what you get out of it. All right. So I will see you in part 3, where we'll be talking about the steps, actual steps to implementing business mindset in your life. All right. Thanks again for joining me. Once again, this is Dr. Carla Michelle, and it's always a pleasure. And I will see you next time. Take care.